this weekly reflection from St. Peter Mancroft Church. My name's Catherine Waddams. I'm a lay minister here. And this week we're recording this in advance because the hidden exhibition is going to be installed this week before its official opening this Friday, the 27th of June. You can perhaps see that the choir stalls have already been removed in readiness for this. We're all really excited to see what this hidden exhibition looks like, and we do hope you'll be able to come and visit it over the next few weeks. Today I want to talk almost about the opposite of hidden, about flying the flag. Because the flag we fly is a public statement about our priorities and about what's happening in our own lives and the lives of our society. 28th of June, later this week, is Armed Forces Day, and the city of Norwich, just across the road from St. Peter Mancroft Church, joins more than 500 local authorities and more than 2,000 members of the public, businesses and schools in flying the official Armed Forces Day flags this week. You can see the flag flying from the City Hall until next Monday to honour all the men and women of our armed forces, past, present and future, as well as reserves and cadets. Armed Forces Day is an opportunity for the whole nation to show its appreciation for the contribution made by all those who serve or have served in the armed forces. It includes a range of community-led events in towns and cities around the country. And here in Norwich, St. Peter Mancroft was invited to say some prayers before the flag raising on Monday. I have to say, I really do have to congratulate the organisers, who had to allocate 2 minutes for the Lord Mayor's statement, 3 minutes for the prayers, time for the parties to arrive in their places, and for flags to be raised and lowered. And they were aiming to raise the flag outside the City Hall, the Armed Forces Day flag, at 10 a.m. precisely. It was very impressive. The flag started to be run up the pole as the City Hall clock struck the first stroke of 10 and had finished unfurling just as the last stroke was heard. The few passers-by had very little idea what was going on, but it was a chance for them to see what was in the flag, which says, Armed Forces Day, show your support, and to raise some issues. The flags, which are being raised all over the country, show the top half of the Union flag and then the name Armed Forces Day and the invitation underneath, as I say, to show your support. Raising the flag, of course, itself is one way to show that support. And the prayers expressed gratitude for the work of the armed services in protecting our peace, as well as recognising the cost of that protection to the men and women involved, past and present, and to their families. They're not called the armed services for nothing. So how can we show our support, particularly perhaps at this time of heightened international tension? Being aware of their situation is one aspect. I learnt that all the Norwich-based Air Force units are currently deployed abroad, in places like Poland or the Mediterranean, where they are in tense situations, as we've seen this week, often facing potentially hostile action, even if they're not actually exchanging fire. Both the members of the armed forces themselves and their families face anxiety which I find it hard to imagine. The world news seems difficult enough to listen to with current tensions. How much more difficult if a relative or close friend was involved. Whatever we think about the politics of the situation and appropriate actions and words of politicians, the price of protecting our peace is costly. We should indeed be thankful and pray that the people involved may know that nothing, whatever the situation, can separate them from God's love. Flags can be an important sign in wartime in particular of who is ruling a particular area. Regime change is often involves lowering and raising the flag or disowning the flag of the old order and raising and reinstating that of the new. I recently watched a television program about occupation in the Channel Islands during the Second World War, and we saw the real joy of raising the Union flag after some very difficult times, particularly in the last year of the war. The Gay Pride flag is flown during Pride March weekend, and we show the banner on our railings here in support. Historically, flags have been used for tactical and factual communication too, in the form of semaphore. I enjoyed learning it as part of the guides, and though less important now in the guiding movement, I read that girls still have fun trying to send messages with flags. Of course, some flags represent views we disagree with or find abhorrent. For example, the swastika, traditionally associated with prosperity, goodwill and flourishing in Eastern culture, now has that much darker connotation following its use by the Nazi Party in Germany and by its modern successors and white supremacy parties. For good or ill, flags signal our own beliefs to other people. Most of us don't fly flags in this sense from our homes, but we do signal our core beliefs in other ways, the values we support, the ones we oppose. We pin our colours to the mast, if you like. Which colours or flags do we choose to support? Can we find out more about what's happening behind the scenes and how we might be able to offer that support? And how do we reflect those values in our daily lives? Are we ready to speak up for our chosen causes, even in uncomfortable circumstances? Well, that can be quite a challenge. So I want to leave you with that thought for this week. We look forward to seeing you at our hidden exhibition once it's installed after this Friday. A related photography exhibition in the Mancroft on Norwich Market from Wednesday the 25th in the afternoon to the morning of Saturday, if you're in the city and have time to visit. Meanwhile, blessings for the rest of your day.